Hey everyone, welcome back. I hinted a while back that a lot of things have been going on behind the scenes. I finally got caught up on a few of them. So this video is kind of going to be an overview of this summer. The first big thing that I had, there has been a lot of fires this year. Currently it's in the middle of fall, and so things have settled down. We'll have a few shots of some of the trips with the fires, and then we'll show you the fun I had in an engine swap. My car engine went out, and so ended up having to change that out. Well, this is looking a little intense. I could feel the heat as I went by. Right in Utah from Wyoming. Okay, it's on the side of the road. That was ridiculous that we had to wait that long. We couldn't have gone through. Oh, it was a school bus. Whoops. So now we're just gonna tear out the engine out of my car because my boy had a problem with it, and I think we've blown it up. So we'll be doing that over the next little while. All right, well, we're back at it. I was getting water draining out of the exhaust, but the exhaust had been, there's a flex part of the exhaust right out of the engine. It bolts right up to here, and there's a flex part here, and that was broke. They kept driving it, and I think we burned a valve seat or something to the point where it cracked the head enough that water drains right out. Okay, this is the problem with the exhaust, if I hadn't shown it already. That flange bolts to the manifold over here. So that flange is was bolted to there, and then that flex tube on the end of the exhaust was connected to that flange, but the motor mounts had been wore out to the point where it flexed and broke that pipe. With that big of an exhaust leak that close to the engine, I think it just caused the heating and cooling cycles to become a problem, and I think that's what took out the valves or the seats or whatever. We took a camera and looked in there, and you could see number one had a whole bunch of dents in the piston where something came loose and was beating it to death. But there's water in number three, so, and I didn't even bother looking in number four, but this was the one that came out of number one, and I mean, it beat it up pretty good. It bent the electrode right over to, so yeah, we had some problems with this. There's the old engine. There's the engine we got out of the junkyard, and there's the hole that it's going to fit in. So yeah, we've been busy. It was actually a week ago Saturday I came out to start on it, and ended up 6 hours later I was able to pull it, which was kind of surprising. I thought I was a bit out of practice, and you know, 6 hours to pull an engine, yeah, that might be a little bit slow, but I haven't really done anything this heavy duty for 11 years. We were able to pick up this one for $475. It came out of a Malibu. It's going to go in the Impala. This car has 300,000 miles on it, so that engine did okay. This one's got 160 on it. We're going to get back on this and hopefully be able to get it stuff back in there and get this back on the road. Okay, we got it back. Yeah, we got this one in the engine compartment. I got 4 bolts. That's the hardest part when you're taking stuff apart. You got to remember where you put everything. So I got to find the other 2 bolts, but it's just this one and the one down there. I got the one down and back, and these 3 up on top. Lined right up. I got the motor mount bolts in, and I just need to put the ones in for the transaxle to the engine. There's a bracket down there, and then start hooking everything back up, but we're getting right along. It's Saturday. This is one day to work on the exhaust and figure out I can't do anything with it. One day to pull the engine. One day to fix the wiring and everything, clean it all up. Last Wednesday, I spent about 4 hours, got the engine in, and now I got about a quarter more to do, and we'll get it back together. We're gonna try and wrap it up today, at least get it running. Okay, we got it all back together a while ago, actually. I'm just kind of finishing up for this video. And we got it all in there. We also did a couple other things. The CV axle and wheel bearing on this side. I had done it previously on the driver's side, but hadn't got around to doing this side, and the boot actually had come off and it was starting to make noise. So while we had it all up on jacks and everything, we finished that up. We got it all in there, and everything ended up running really good, except it was still kind of loud because of an exhaust leak. And the exhaust leak was from that muffler. Actually, that's the resonator. The muffler was in back there, but we had them put that in, and everything ended up being nice and quiet. To show you the final result, we'll go ahead and start it up. So for 160,000 miles, that engine actually runs really good. So after all that, the car's running good. The boy's running the wheels off again. Hopefully that'll end up lasting for a while longer. I don't know how much we're going to do with the filming of this. This is another one of my son's car. He bought it a couple of years ago and he really likes it. It's a nice running little Cobalt, but it needs some paint. So we're actually going to try to work on this over the fall winter and see if we can't get it painted. He's been working on some of the extras that he wants to put on it. He's got a new bumper front and back, and he's got some new plastics on it. Wants to put some fancier things, including a spoiler on the back. So we're going to work on that. His pile is right here. We'll come back to that. And then the final thing, we had been working on this on and off for quite a while. This is my pickup. My 20-year-old boy has been driving this, and I guess while I was gone, we've had a miss on it, and it's number 5, and for some strange reason he decided he was going to try to change the injector. Hasn't really had much experience or training on some of the mechanic stuff. So he dug into this, and when I heard about the fireball, I was a little concerned, but apparently it just must have been spewing gas all over and it ignited. So anyway, we're going to try to figure out what's actually wrong with this now. It was running okay, just had that miss. So this is going to be on the back burner. He's leaving to go on a mission for our church for 2 years, so it'll just be back to being my truck for a while. So there's no big rush on it to get it done other than when I need to use the pickups. Okay, I guess we're going to leave this video right about here, except I'm going to put an update on truck 88. It's back on the road and it looks pretty good. So we'll show that. This is going to be a little bit of an update. We got 88 back. It's ready to go back on the road. And as you can see, it's a slightly different sleeper. See, that's my truck over there with the flat top, which is what Ray always liked. And this one is not a flat top. It's the Aerodyne. But the problem is it doesn't have the bunk beds. It's just the basic sleeper without the bunk bed in it. But anyway, that's what they got on there. They had to rebuild completely the headache rack. Got a totally different one on there. I had this truck when it was new. Oh, they don't have the lower lights. One of the other things is it doesn't have a door on the driver's side. So that was kind of weird. I'll just take a gander before he moves in. Yep, no bunk bed. It's just the basic sleeper. We could probably get one out of a junkyard, but I mean, it's not even a fancy interior like we did have, but you know, it was cheap. I think they got it for about $4,000, and it was way cheaper than what they would have had to do. So anyway, so that's 88 ready to be back on the road.